Alright, welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers. Shout out to the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the crossing guards, school teachers, law enforcement personnel, medical field personnel, military personnel. Whatever it is your job description is, shout out to you. Shout out to my heavy equipment operators. Shout out to AC techs. Shout out to the engineers. Shout out to from the CEOs of big corporate companies to those who sweep the streets and pick up garbage. Shout out to you. By the sweat of a man's brow, so shall he eat bread. Here we are on this beautiful morning. Today is Wednesday. Today is January 7th, 2026, and we are happy to be here. Before I start out telling you what is going on with myself and why you haven't been getting your live like you're supposed to on a regular basis, let me just first wish happy birthday to Vybz Kartel. Vybz Kartel, as you know, the figure that there's no words to describe who Vybz Kartel is. We can't just call him a dancehall artist because he has transcended dancehall artists as a title. We can't just call him, you know what? We're going to stick with the GOAT, the greatest of all time, the greatest to have ever done it. Dancehall music. He is the reigning king of dancehall music. You know what's funny? What's funny is that Vybz Kartel predicted that even when he was 50 years old, he was going to still be running dancehall as in the man to beat, the king on the throne, the one at the top. And absolutely that he is. He has a song. Yeah, he has a song out right now for 2026 predicting what it's going to be for 2026. The man said 2026 and this year I'm going to get rich. I think you're rich already still, but you know, your levels are rich. You're talking about next level are rich. You know what I say? So more power to him, more strength to him. And I hope all that he set out to do, that he accomplishes. I realize that every time him set out to do big things and he accomplishes it, it makes my culture look good. It makes us look good. So we can't do nothing else other than support that and wish him all the best in all his endeavors. Remember, I wake up every day and I say, wish good for others as much as you wish good for yourself. Right? Right. So all the people them who hate Vybz Kartel for no reason, don't like him because he's outshining your favorite artist, and your favorite artist still can't get a spot in the game because Kartel is still around. To all the ones who didn't want him to come out of prison, because this is exactly what was gonna happen. The dancehall arena, the space is locked right now, where if you're never somebody from before, then you can't get a space in it right now. It's kind of rough, you know what I mean? There are people who are doing their thing in dancehall music, but not to a Vybz Kartel level. So again, to be 50 years old means that the Most High, the Almighty Creator, had chosen you, has preserved you, and has put you on this earth and kept you here for half a century. Half a century, you know? That's half of 100 years. None of us when we were little, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 coming up. When I was 15 years old, I thought 50 was like 500. Anybody that said I'm 50 to me, I would have said, damn, him all coming like Jesus sandals. You know what I mean? 50 is around the corner for me too. So 50 years old to Vybz Kartel, big up yourself again. We wish you nothing but the best in life and continue to be who you are and continue to do what it is that you do. We're boss. We're boss. All right, moving right along. Listen, everybody who follows me knows that the baby is on its way. I won't say it anymore. It's because I know what the baby is now. So my new addition to my family, our new addition to our family, me and Shakira, me and wifey, our baby girl is on her way. But the baby look like she comfortable inside our mother. You know, and I was telling Shakira that all her other pregnancies, because I was there for all of them. I was there for all the pregnancies. I'm there for all the deliveries, right? We had laughed yesterday and I said, me turn expert now because I've seen so many live births in person, stand up, they go through, right? Not taking credit though, because I mean labor and push out the baby. But it's like I told her yesterday, I said, you know, through all your other pregnancies, you were super active. Like, she would go to the gym and work out at the gym. She a woman, so she can't go to the gym, even though she's in a gateway. But she goes to the workout place, the gym, and she work out throughout all her other pregnancies. She went on long walks. She stayed physically fit throughout her other pregnancies. This is the first pregnancy which she's, I don't want to use the word lazy because I'm not the one that's having the baby, but she's not that physical with this. You know what I mean? She does a lot of sitting down, a lot of laying around, a lot of rubbing on the belly. And I tell her, say, I'm telling wifey, say, she makes it comfortable for the baby to want to stay in there so the baby don't want to come out. You know, my daughter is just in there chilling and it's past her due date. It's actually now past her due date by quite a few days. Well, tomorrow, which is Thursday, they have scheduled for her to be in the hospital. So tomorrow, Thursday, me and her are going to be in the hospital delivering that baby. Right, today is Wednesday. So we have to prepare today so that tomorrow morning we're ready, and it's early in the morning. We have to be up at 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m. We have to be there shortly after. In the wee hours of the morning is when they're going to start this process. The time we have to be there. So I'm asking my audience to work with us. I know that most of you who come here, you are good people. But me see one person left a comment that said, this is not what I pay for my membership for. This is not what I pay for my membership for. How come we're not getting our lives like we supposed to? If that is why you bought your live, or if that is why you bought membership to this channel, please take back your membership. Please, take it back. Me don't want you to be no member. I don't care about your membership that much. I don't want you to be a member. You see, when it comes to my children, you see, when it comes to real life things that are happening, I have to build an audience where my audience understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I disappear for a week. Sometimes I disappear for 2 weeks. And then I'm in Jamaica. And I tell my audience, hey, boom, I'm gone somewhere, I soon come back. Don't like to really tell people where I'm going until I get there, do some stuff, and I'm on my way back. You have to move wisely in these times. So my audience usually be like, safe travels, SouFlo, and don't worry, take some time with your family. It's all good. You give us content like every day. We have a whole heap of material on the channel that we can go on engage in until you get back. And what do? I usually end up filming and posting anyways from wherever I'm traveling to regardless, right? So I never really fully take time off to attend to real life things. I take a day here and there, but never really fully time off. And those who truly, genuinely wish us well is who I want around. If you're so caught up in your $9.99 a month, and that is so important to you that if I miss a few days, this not what I'm paying my membership for. Please, take your membership back. Okay? Just take it back, don't say nothing, and exit stage left. I promise you, we won't crumble. We will actually continue to grow. Now, as far as the baby goes, I'm anxious to see her. I'm ready to meet her. We have her name picked out and everything. We told you that it's traditional for us to not reveal our children's name until they come into the world. When they come into the world, it's an African tradition that the children hear their name first. They're the first ones to hear their name. Besides mommy and daddy, nobody else knows that child's name until that child comes into the world. That child hears their name first, right? So it's a traditional thing for us, and we'll be doing that. She has a beautiful name. We're ready to receive her. Everything is in place. Thanks and praises be to the Most High. We're not bringing no baby into no poverty situation, no sickness situation, no adverse events. It's just a joyous time, and I hope it continues to be this way, and it will continue to be this way right up until the birth of the child and until mommy and baby leaves hospital and they're home in one piece, feeling good and everything like that. You know how birth process goes, right? Yesterday they did a video of a doctor, a woman doctor, who has delivered many babies throughout her career. She died while giving birth. So I went into the grocery store, left wifey in the car, and she was going through heavy contractions yesterday. But the contractions were just not consistent enough. By the time I come back into the vehicle, you know, her whole demeanor changed. So when she got home, she was like, yeah, just while you were in the grocery store, I just watched something on the phone that a doctor who has delivered many babies throughout her career and has saved many lives, she just lost her life delivering a baby. She couldn't save herself. And I said, are you worried? And she says, no, not really. But I could see the worry on her. Just for giving her an idea of the things, because you're going to people's hospital, you don't know what's going to happen next, you know. But we're not speaking bad over anything. I'm just trying to connect you with the process, right? Right. But we speak all good. We speak life over everything. And we will be just fine. We're just asking you to bear with the time, so you won't be getting these videos like, morning, you know, me up bright and early in the morning and we ready to go and these kind of things. And yes, I still have a cough. It's going. It's not as bad. I can feel it going. I can feel myself getting better. And now I'm gonna like how some people would have wanted to go drink this and drink that. And I've been drinking this and that. So, and it's working. Alright, all natural remedies. I didn't want to go to the doctor and get any antibiotic. I'm fine. I don't have anything that is I'm going to give to the new baby. I know some of you are going to say all of that, and I appreciate the concerns and everything like that. Alright, enough of the jibber jabber. One more thing. What happened yesterday? I decided to go live yesterday, right? And before I went live, I woke up early in the morning, I dropped the kids to school, I put out a message, so we are going live this morning. And then when the time came to go live, set up everything. It's a long process to go live. You don't just click and go live. For me, I have to make a thumbnail. The thumbnail has to have what we're going to talk about on it. It's in pictures, so it shows. And then you have to set it up on 2 computers. Then I have to fill in all these other types of information. You know, what part of the world are you streaming this from? Has this ever been, does this need captioning when it's streaming, blah, blah, blah. Who do you want to see this versus who you don't want to see it, this, that, and the other. Fill in all them information here. When I went live yesterday and I said, morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. I said, yes, we're live. All right. And as soon as I started to talk, I don't know. Walk with me. My right hand went up and clicked end stream. My right hand clicked end stream and the stream ended. And I was sitting here talking and I'm like, damn, me click end stream. Me click end stream and end the live. And you know, the streaming platform that I use to stream the morning thoughts, and right now they have this thing where confettis burst in the air and it's like, you have come to the end, or this is the end. So me know that the stream done now. And I'm like, damn, SouFlo, you done the stream and you just start. Alright, that means I will have to go through the whole long process of starting all over again. Now, even more. Because now you have to take down what was already there, wait till that completely erased, and then restart, put up back thumbnail, fill in back all the information, all that. And I said, you know what? Should have listened to myself from the beginning. I did not want to do the live yesterday. I wanted to actually spend time with wifey because she had got through contractions. You know, it's close, it's past her due date. You know, she close to having the baby, all these other things. But me want to do that live here so much, and my whole self is saying, don't do the live, wait. Just put out a message, tell the audience, say, you know, we are going to do something else or what go on and handle what you have to handle. And it just naturally worked out like that. I don't know when the right hand get up and just press the button, so end stream. So I went over there yesterday. After the stream done, I said to myself, you know what, I'm not put up no stream, you know. I'm not put it up back, you know. I'm done. I'm going to go spend some time with her. And of course, spend some time with her yesterday. And you know what them say, in order to let the baby come out faster, you have to do that something there. Yeah, we call it dugu dugu. Yeah, TMI, TMI. So there I was yesterday. You know we were and we dugu and tried to get the baby figure, and that no work neither. So the little picnic was comfortable in there. Nah, come out. So tomorrow morning, bright and early, in the 4 o'clock hours of the morning, 4:30 hours of the morning, we will be leaving home to head to the hospital. And we have everything in place. Older siblings taking the day off from school to come spend the time with their younger siblings. Everybody will be in one house. Mommy and daddy are going to go deliver baby. And then when that is done, we'll come back and scoop everybody up. And they'll go to the hospital where everybody can go see their new addition to the family and all these other things. Wish us well. Wish us well. And thank you. But that is what is going on. Now, the icon you saw yesterday, where the headline said, Caribbean islands bow to the USA. Somebody said, SouFlo, in the comment section. I left the comment there. The person said, SouFlo, something about I'm a Jamaican too, and you know, maybe you're using the wrong choice of words. You shouldn't have used the word bow, because we know what bow mean to us. Remember the great Shabba Rankin, them bow, them bow, them bow, them bow. Man on that table, me said that him. Gal a clean rifle, me said that shit. Yeah, them bow. So the person say, maybe you shouldn't use the word bow. Maybe you should use another word. But something, and them LOL, laugh out loud. It's bow, them bow. I've told my audience time and time again that the goal for the United States of America is to be in control of this region of the Western Hemisphere. All right? All the other superpowers that are out there, China and whoever else, they will be in control of other parts of the Western they will be in control of other parts of the world. United States of America want lockdown Yasso. This a fit them place, and anywhere that's in their backyard is supposed to be under their influence and under their rulership or leadership in some way. It's plain and simple as that. Where you sit as an immigrant in the United States of America, I don't know if you know it, but right now there are rules, laws, and regulations being put in place where you could be easily classified as anti-American. And if you are easily classified as anti-American, it actually gives them the right to strip you of your citizenship. Forget green card, that's easy to take away. Forget those on visa, you are super easy to send back to where you came from. So you don't want to appear anywhere on any media platform as being anti-American. But under the Trump agenda, they have actually stretched it a bit further. It is, if you seem to be against the Trump agenda, then you could find yourself in problems. Now, when I said that Caribbean islands have bowed to the United States of America, this is what I was talking about. I don't know if you've seen it, but I'll bring it to you right now. Guyana welcomes U.S. leadership following the capture of Venezuela, Maduro. Guyana welcomes U.S. leadership following the capture of Venezuela's Maduro. What do we know about Guyana? We know that Guyana is oil rich, right? If I'm not mistaken, Venezuela was looking at Guyana's oil, and Guyana ran to the U.S. As a matter of fact, the U.S. slid over in Guyana's inbox and said, yo, they're trying to come for your oil? You know, if they come for your oil, y'all might fight, but they have a more powerful military than you do. So here's what. Let us slide on them for you. And in return, you put us in your oil business. And this is how Guyana ends up in bed with the United States of America right there. Then there's the other one that says Antigua and Barbuda now. I'm telling you that none of the Caribbean islands can escape. None of them. That's why a few days ago you saw me say Jamaica better be good. Andrew Holness better play nice. Because that's how the U.S. is playing right now. You can't be against no U.S. agenda right now. Antigua and Dominica have signed a deal with the United States to accept refugees. Yes. Antigua and Dominica have signed a deal with the United States to accept refugees. All right, let me tell you what's going on right there, and then we'll go back into Guyana and their oil. So Antigua and Barbuda and Dominica, they have signed what's called third country arrangements with the United States to accept certain refugees who cannot be returned to their countries, with both governments stressing that all arrivals will undergo strict intelligence vetting. I don't want to cast any doubt about the strict vetting that they're supposed to undergo and all that. We know how that goes already. Do y'all remember when COVID was out and we were quarantined and locked in? COVID, yeah. Remember how they were like, we're still deporting people to Jamaica? However, we will not deport anybody who is positive for COVID. Remember, I know COVID was something where all it takes is one person to walk into a room of 1,000 people, and before you know it, 95% of who is in that room would end up being COVID positive, because all that person had to do was done, right? So people were scared. We were wearing masks. We were trying to be 6 feet apart, try to stay away from each other. And they said, we're sending your deportees back, even in the midst of COVID. Okay? When those deportees came, what did we realize? We realized that they came in COVID positive. Into the country, COVID positive. Mind you, this is a time when all countries are closing their borders, not letting anybody in, trying their best to get the COVID something under control in their country, in their region. And of course, many countries were suffering economically, so they started slowly opening up their borders to selected few. You had to have the jab and you could prove it, and then you had to this, that, and the other in order to be let in. They sent people. They promised they wouldn't send anybody who was COVID positive. And they sent people who were COVID positive. Yeah. So, I'm not sure about this vetting process that they're talking about they're going to be doing. But what I do know is Antigua and Barbuda and Dominica have now signed a third country agreement deal with the United States of America. For those of you who don't know what the third country agreement deal is, basically it's like this. The US wants to deport somebody, but they can't go back to their country. Can't go back to their country because their life's in danger. Regardless if they got in trouble in the United States of America or if their refugee status was denied from the US. US don't want you here, right? For a lot of people, it's going to be this. You committed a crime. You got found guilty. After you were approved for refugee status in the US and you were granted refugee status. Remember I told you all this was coming? Because they told us, and I gave you the message. Go back and watch our other immigration videos. So, if you are somebody who came into the US under a refugee status, you applied for a refugee status and they gave it to you, and then you got in trouble. Don't think they're going to keep you in the don't think they're going to keep you in the US, because they're not. They're going to send you to a third country. And the third country is going to be Antigua, Barbuda, Dominica, or one of the other countries that have signed up to be third countries accepting refugees from the United States of America. The last time I checked, they had 7 African nations who were also signed up to accept these refugees, right? It says that PM Brown added and said, "We signed an agreement which gives us, the government, the authority, not that we accept whomever, and that the United States will provide intelligence." He further stated that the government formally communicated its position to the U.S. State Department, writing back approximately 90 days ago, and stressed that he is reporting the development publicly, saying this is not supposed to remain as a secret. This is no secret deal, he is basically saying. The leaders of the Caribbean will, of course, don't want to look weak in front of their people, so they'll try to make it look like we made a deal with the US government that will benefit all of us, right? But the truth of the matter is they don't have a choice. They didn't have a choice. And I'm going to show you why in a minute. So the Antiguan leader emphasized that the approach reflects cooperation without compromising sovereignty or national security. He said that we continue to operate a government that is based on sound governance. His comments come amid ongoing regional discussions on U.S. immigration policy and the use of third nation partners to manage deportees and refugees. Y'all seen that Hispanic guy, I forgot what his name was, they actually sent him to El Salvador. He was in CTOC in El Salvador. A judge ruled that he was to be sent back to the United States of America. They sent him back to the United States of America. Then they kept him in custody, and then they wanted to send him to Eswatini. He's Hispanic. They wanted to send him to Eswatini. I think just recently a judge ruled that he could finally be released from custody and go back to his family. That was considered a third country. So in Dominica, Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerritt confirmed a similar agreement, noting that the nation has engaged in ongoing dialogue with the United States of America on matters of mutual interest. Mutual interest. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. Speaking at a press conference, PM Skerritt said, "I believe this engagement will further deepen our long-standing relationship and clearly signal that Dominica remains a willing and reliable partner of the United States in our region." He highlighted the importance of safeguarding citizens of the country and their access to lawful travel. Pay attention. He highlighted the importance of safeguarding the citizens of his country and their access to lawful travel. Their access to lawful travel, to education, to employment, and to family connections, while strengthening cooperation between governments. Keep that at the forefront of your mind. He also called for national unity and measured discourse as the country begins the new year. He said, let us bring this new year by lowering the temperature of our national discourse, choosing calm over conflict, and remembering that we are strongest when we stand together, PM Skerritt said. Both announcements came in the wake of the U.S. proclamation issued on December 16th of 2025, which expanded restrictions on the entry of certain foreign nationals. Dominica, Antigua, and Barbuda were on that list. So clearly, you see, when you hear your prime minister talking about, man, we talked about stuff, that we have mutual interest in, and it is our job as prime minister to make sure that our citizens are safeguarded and that they have access to legal travel and they have access to education. When he says education and employment and family connections, because a lot of their people go to school in the United States of America. That's education. And if they can't travel on student work visa programs or go to attend college and universities, that is limited education. When he talks about employment, a lot of his citizens would be denied to come to the United States of America on a work visa, any kind of work visa, whether it be farm work or in a corporate entity, suit and tie job, lock them off from that too. They wouldn't be able to travel to the U.S., work and earn. And then the family connections. A lot of them have family in the United States of America. So when you can get a visitor's visa and say, I'm in Miami next week, I have to go visit grandma, because grandma dead for a long time now and she kind of sick. Or I'm going up to go see mommy. Or I'm going up to go visit daddy. Or I'm going up to go visit whoever. You have family connections. So he wants to keep the way open. The U.S. had locked them off completely almost. So, both of these announcements, you hear them coming out saying they have signed this third country agreement with the U.S. They didn't have a choice. This is what I mean when I say the Caribbean bows to the U.S. because you have to. You have to. Remember when I said to y'all that I'm not even mad at Andrew Holness anymore? By the way, I saw Andrew at the Maroon Fest. Shout out to Chief Curry. I saw Andrew at the Maroon Fest. It was almost a spiritual thing. There were a lot of people who were saying, he's using the Maroons. My friend them up to kill them. He's using the Maroons, and why is he friending up Chief Curry and he's there dancing? They have the drumming sessions and they dance and it's a spiritual experience. Andrew was in that. And I said to myself, this guy might be winning me over. He might be winning me over. If Andrew Holness does right by the Maroons and does right by Accompong and does right by Cockpit Country, he might win me over. Yeah, and I've said that all along, right? That was my basis for not wanting to vote for him in the last election. Knowing what Accompong is, knowing what Cockpit Country is to the larger Jamaica, so to speak. How could you let somebody damage that? How could you allow anybody to damage that? Come on, man, some things have to be off limits. And sometimes you have to stand firm for something. Right? So let's see where that goes. Anyways, back to this. Both announcements come in the wake of a U.S. proclamation issued on December 16, 2025, which expanded restrictions on the entry of certain foreign nationals, including Antigua and Barbuda and Dominica. They would have problems getting into the United States of America. The order suspends the issuance of most immigrant visas and B1, B2, FM, and J non-immigrant visas for nationals of these two countries if they do not already hold a valid visa as of January 1st of 2026. That means nobody else in their country was going to be able to get any of these kind of visas. Those are visitors visas and student visa and work visa. They wouldn't be able to get any. That's how the US choked them. The US said, okay, fine. You don't want to fix your program, your citizenship by investment program, the way we're telling you, because we're showing you that your citizenship by investment program leaves a gateway in it for people who we consider terrorists to us and our enemies to our way of life. You're leaving a way open for them to be able to come into your country and then access our country under a completely different identity. We've spoken about this before. We're cutting you off. None of you can come here. Who has it already, they're good. Once they go out, they wouldn't be good anymore, because you know how that go already. You would need another visa to come back in. We're going to clamp that and make sure they can't come back in. That was where that was heading, right? Unless you were a citizen of the US from these countries, you are not safe. And those who didn't get one yet would not be getting one. So nobody would be allowed to travel pretty much again from Antigua and Barbuda and Dominica. Of course, that included the leaders of the country. So the leaders of the country are like, oh shit. Kind of like the same thing that they did to Jamaica, right? Where they went to Jamaica and they said, listen, these Cuban doctors that you have, you're going to have to get rid of them. Because, you know, human trafficking stuff, and we don't think this, that, and the other. And, you know, the Prime Minister tried to brave up himself and said the relationship between Jamaica and Cuba and their Cuban doctors is going to continue X, Y, Z. And then the day after Marco Rubio left Jamaica, after he told them that, don't you notice the day after Rubio left, a whole lot of Cuban doctors were seen at the airport leaving Jamaica? I doubt they have replaced them. I've been asking and nobody has been able to answer me. I want a count right now of how many Cuban doctors are still operating in Jamaica. Not just the doctors, the medical staff, doctors, nurses, whoever else they would have from before. It was like 400 and something of them there before. I don't know how many are there now. I'm willing to bet almost none are there now. You can posture all you want to. You can talk tough all you want to. I watched the dialogue between Marco Rubio and Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness explained that, you know, we're not a part of no human trafficking anything. And we are not abusing these doctors. We pay them livable wages according to the wage scale. There's nothing lower, so we don't have them in indentured servitude or anything like that. Marco Rubio basically bounced his head and said, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but this is what I'm telling you. And when he did that, I said Jamaica is going to have to play fair. Or not fair, but play the American way. And they did. Soon after, you heard Christopher Tufton say, we're going to have to start looking to Nigeria and the Philippines for medical staff. And they signed an agreement, I believe, with the Philippines. So it was no longer with Cuba. The same agreement they signed with Cuba to get Cuban medical staff into Jamaica. They just didn't want to tell the people that, because a lot of Jamaicans are of the perception that Cuban doctors did nothing to us. They've been with us for the longest. They have done nothing but good for us, and they are a healthy part of our medical system in Jamaica. So why would we want to bow to the US and kick them out? But guess what? The US is the US. And Jamaica is just another small island in the Caribbean that will have to play a game just like everybody else. You see all the stuff that we were mad at the Trinidadian Prime Minister for? Ah, she a sellout. She just got ahead of everybody else. She realized that we're all going to have to play a game, so I might as well start playing the game from early. Not to mention, y'all have to remember that Venezuela is right next to Trinidad, and Trinidad, according to boots on the ground people we've spoken to, some of our friends, Trinidad is overran by people trying to escape Venezuela. So you have a lot of, and with that comes a lot of stuff that comes with them. The drugs, the unscrupulous individuals, criminal mindset, prostitution, all kinds of stuff like that as well. It's not like it's only the best Venezuelans are coming to Trinidad. So Trini have their own reason of why they jumped on the US thing really quickly. So that was it. Dominica and Antigua and Barbuda had to bow out as well because of this. The order suspended the issuance of most immigrant visas, even to their leaders. When they did it in Jamaica, Marco Rubio said, he didn't say he was going after Jamaicans as the people. He said we would suspend all travel documents into the US, their US visas, for elected officials in Jamaica. You know why he said that? Because he knows that the Jamaican elected officials, a lot of them don't really care about the people of Jamaica like that. So if they were going to take the people's visas, but not the elected officials, Jamaica wouldn't have bat an eye. But the minute they said all elected officials visas, that's when they jumped into action. And you could imagine, right? All these elected officials, they travel to the US to go shopping. They travel to the US to see family members. They travel to the US to get their doctor's appointments, etc. And so does their wife, husband, children. Children go to school here even. Imagine their children not being able to go back to finish up school or start the next semester, or the wifey can't go visit her mom who lives in Miami, or can't go shopping and do her fly out trips anymore. That's what they're concerned about. And the US authorities know that. So they use that against them. Well, it said that the order suspended the issuance of most of these immigrant visas, the B1, the B2, the B1/B2, FM, the F visa, the M visa, the J visa. That's all them visas. Non-immigrant visas for nationals of these two countries if they did not already hold a visa by January 1st of 2026. Existing visas would remain valid, while consular officers have been directed to reduce the validity of other non-immigrant visas to the extent that was permitted by law. The extent that was permitted by law was they would have been cut off completely. The proclamation cited concerns related to citizenship by investment programs. See? Which allow individuals to obtain new passports and bypass restrictions linked to their own original nationality. Governments in both countries have engaged diplomatically with US authorities, seeking clarification and potential modification of those restrictions. There you have it. I told you. They have to fix their citizenship by investment program to suit the United States of America. A lot of you are going to say, what does that have to do with nothing? Why does the U.S. get to tell people how to do if they should have a citizenship by investment program and how to set it up? I'm going to explain to you one last time. Say, for instance, there is a group of people who want to harm United States of America, like do a 9/11, bomb up some shit here. But America has a restriction on people coming in from their country. They can't come in. All they have to do is go to Antigua and Barbuda, pay their money, become a citizen by investment, change their whole identity because they're citizen now by investment, they're citizen, so their identity would change. Their nationality would become Antigua and Barbuda. They would have a Antigua and Barbuda or a Dominica passport. They would then use that new identity to travel into the United States of America when they couldn't travel from their original country before, because their original country was already flagged as a red flag country and nobody from there was allowed into the US. You see that? So that citizenship by investment is not so simple. It has a doorway where America's enemies can crawl into America through that doorway. Simply put, so everybody could understand. And America was trying to get them to change it, and they were like, we're not changing anything. Move. Leave us alone. Go mind your own business. America said, oh, really? Okay. Nobody from your country gets visas to come into our country. That's all they had to do. And matter of fact, on top of that, not only are you going to change it, if you want us to change these visa stuff, restrictions, so y'all people can come back again, if you want to change these, we want you to change your citizenship by investment stuff, you're going to do that. But not only that, now you're going to actually take refugees as third country in a third country agreement. Since you bolstered up from the beginning and acted like you didn't want to change your citizenship by investment regulations according to how we asked you to do it, now you're not only going to do that, you're also going to take some of these damn refugees. Take it or leave it. They had no damn choice. America drives a hard bargain. And this is what I meant when I said Caribbean islands bow to US. They don't have a choice. Again, this is America. Big, bad, bully America. A lot of people are cussing me out. Talking about, it's the way you gloat. It's the way you act like you're rejoicing. How about this? It's the way how I realize that there's nothing I or you can do to stop what's happening. Haven't y'all seen? A lot of people talk a lot. Oh, what the Trump administration is doing is so wrong. They talk. Do you see them trying to stop it? No. They talk a lot. They do a lot of news specials. They do a lot of social media videos. They say they're going to take his administration to court. All this other stuff. Remember, we were warned during the campaigning phase of the elections. This is why I was trying to tell y'all who to vote for the first time. A lot of people wouldn't listen. We were warned that this would happen. And it's happening now. So, I'm not fighting it. I live in the United States of America. I am a U.S. Army Infantry combat veteran. One woman said yesterday, or a man, I don't know who that person is. I think you just want to tell people or that you're proud that you were infantry. I want to tell people that I am proud that I was in the infantry. I want to tell people that I am proud that I am a U.S. Army Infantry combat veteran. Not was, you are. I am that, and I will always be that, right? What's done cannot be undone. You ran. There's no sense in being ashamed. You ran the race, you got the reward. No sense in being ashamed. And again, I live here. Not only do I live here, I've lived here since I was a small child. I've spent more years of my life in the United States of America than I have in any other country, including Jamaica, right? I stay close to my roots, Jamaica. But if you're asking me to like create a platform where I'm vocal against and going, I don't have to agree with everything. I bring you up-to-date information on what's happening, not necessarily agreeing with what's happening or celebrating what's happening, but in the same breath, I'm letting you know that the house that you're living in, you can't catch it on fire. Because then you're going to have to go find somewhere else to live. And it's that simple, right? So wrong or right, we're on the sideline watching this unfold. And in the meantime, we have nothing negative to say about the United States of America. However it plays out, it plays out. I'll end this by saying this. A lot of people voted for this. A lot of people voted for this thinking it would not affect them. And I'm not just talking about what's happening with on one end or one scale, on many angles. I remember a lot of Caribbean people calling in during the campaigning phase leading up to the election, "Eat that boy SouFLo," and they would talk about how Trump is the man, and him may I vote for, I don't care what you want to say. The only thing a lot of the Caribbean people who said they were going to vote this way because they're citizens in the US, the only reason they wanted to vote for him is because he said a girl is a girl and a boy is a boy, and there are only two sexes, which I agree with, because that's my stance, right? And they had us dragging us in this thing where you had to call people by what they identify as. So a man with a big ass beard could tell you, "Call me Susie," and you have to call him Susie. "Call me Marissa," and you have to call him Marissa. "I identify as her, she," and you have to call me by my pronouns. Y'all remember that? Right. So when Trump came in, he was like, no more of that. Before he even came in the campaign phase, no more of that. And they wanted to have shared bathrooms, public bathrooms, and I didn't want to see a guy in the same bathroom as my little daughter. Because he identified as a woman, he could go into the women's bathroom, but I can't go in there. I have to allow my daughter to go in by herself. It's supposed to be women in there. She's going to go in there and see a guy in there who identifies as a woman, but still swings a dick. Anything can happen. Tragedy, right? So I understood that you wanted to vote for him based on that, but remember I was telling y'all that that is minor compared to all the other stuff that was about to happen. Y'all pardon the cough. You know some cough already. That was minor compared to all the other stuff that was about to happen. Like now. Like Antigua and Barbuda and Dominica getting squeezed to accept refugees, to tweak their citizenship by investment program to the way the U.S. wants it. Like Jamaica. Jamaica doesn't have a citizenship by investment program. But if they were thinking about getting one, it would have to be in line with what the U.S. wants. Because Jamaica is heavily invested in by China, and Jamaica is also right there in U.S. backyard, as in it's a one little jump and you're in the U.S. from Jamaica. So they have to play game. Get rid of those doctors, get doctors from somewhere else, or else we're going to think that you are a part of the human trafficking ring. Oh no, we're not. Sorry. All the stuff comes trickling downhill. And that's where we are. So I don't have a fight with any of this. And I'm not celebrating. I'm just showing you what's going on. Right? Right. Now, the last thing the last thing I want to talk about this morning on this video is I want to talk about Jayden Smith, the little boy that went missing. Poor Jayden Smith. Jayden Smith went missing right before Hurricane Melissa hit Jamaica. And I remember Jayden Smith's mom being visited by Peter Bunting. She was visited by Ellie Lewis as well, but she was visited by Peter Bunting as well. And I remember Jayden Smith's mom saying something specific. She said, there is no more Jayden. Jayden is no more. She know it. And she was tapping her belly like this, right? May I switch gear now? Talking about Jayden Smith. She was tapping her belly like this and she said, there's no more Jayden. Jayden dead. She feel it. She can feel it. Jayden is no longer alive, she said. And there were a lot of people on social media who said, woman, what do you mean by Jayden dead? Or he's no longer alive? Might not want to kidnap him, you know. Because remember, the backstory to Jayden Smith is that, forget the part about the little kid that broke his femur and the mother flew into the country and Jayden has been missing since the day that mother landed in the country, which I think is suspicious as hell and I think has not been explored enough by Jamaican authorities. However, there's another angle here you might want to look at, because now I know the backstory is that Jayden's mom said that Jayden didn't even talk to her much. Like, she said Jayden would have see her out the road and she a walk on the right side of the road. Jayden would have crossed up on the left side of the road. That's how much he didn't mess with her. And a lot of us would say, well, damn, why would he treat his mom like that? And she said his brainwash Jayden against her. She can't afford to take care of him. He has other siblings that she have to take care of. His daddy is a drunk alcoholic and not helping her with anything, so she's all on her own. The woman who took Jayden in was Jayden's father's twin sister, and once paternity was established that was her brother's child, she couldn't let him go to the state because the state was going to take Jayden from them anyways because of the deplorable living conditions that they were under, right? So Jayden didn't really mess with her anyways, the mother said. And then she said Jayden dead. And the woman then beat her up on social media. And I said, one will beat the woman for a fair picnic. If she carry him in her belly for however many months and push him out. There's this relation between a human and their mom and the womb that they came from. And when things happen to you in life, your mom actually, if she's alive, can feel it through her womb. That's what I've learned over the years. Sometimes I swing a hammer, right? I was swinging a hammer one time, trying to put a nail in. And I swing the hammer so hard, bow! And bust my finger, you know. Bust my finger. You know, sir, my mom wasn't even in Jamaica at the time. And my mom knew. She didn't know that I swung a hammer and hit my finger. She knew that I was hurt. And when I talked to her, and I tell her, she said, you alright? I say, yeah, me just lick out my fingernail, because my whole fingernail came out. I was swinging a hammer trying to hit a nail. My mom was like, Jesus Christ. Me know, you know, I know something was wrong, man, because I feel it in my belly, this sharp pain in my belly, but me know say it was for you. She can't explain how, but she knows. So it was off of stuff like that. And it happened many more times throughout my years of being here. So it was off of that why I said, leave the woman alone, man. But here's some more information. More recently updated information. Shout out to Yardhide. Jayden Smith's mother now says, me still believe my son is alive. Just before Christmas, you said you believe your son is dead and you can feel it in your womb. So now you say you still believe your son is alive. Mind you make them people start pray, you know, lady. Mind you make them people here start to pray you. Boy. Alright, it goes like this. More than 3 months after 12-year-old Jayden Smith went missing, his mother says she remains hopeful that he will return home, despite the ongoing strain of not knowing his whereabouts. While many welcome the new year with celebrations, fireworks, togetherness, drink and enjoy yourself, eat food, family and fun, she said that her only wish throughout this time was to be reunited with her son. The Manchester police continues to treat the case as an active case, according to them. Jayden was reportedly missing since September 26th of 2025 after leaving school and failing to return home. He was reportedly last seen in Mandeville. Peart said that the uncertainty has taken a heavy toll on her daily life. I am down on my face right now, she said, and I cannot eat and I cannot sleep. I am praying that Jayden would dream me and give me a sign, but all I am getting is nightmares, she said. She recently did an interview with the Jamaica Star. She said, "My son just go school and no come home back and me don't know what happened." In Jamaica we have a thing where I say him dream me. Like when my brother passed away, for a long time I didn't see him. I hadn't mourned him. I went to Jamaica and my grandmother said, this was months after he passed, right? I went to Jamaica and my grandmother, who was alive at the time, Miss Ruby, keep her picture right here. She said, your brother was just here, you know. That's what my grandmother said, right? When I got to Jamaica, she said, your brother was just here, you know. I said, I wonder if my grandmother had a gather water. I wonder if she remember, say, Jamie dead, him pass on. So I said, Grandma, you know, sir, Jamie pass on, right? Because I was trying to see if she was, you know. She said, yes, man. I know that. But him traveling. He been traveling. And poor thing. When him reach here, you know, him tired, you see? Him tired, man. And him wet. I don't know if it's from sweat or it's from the rain, because it was raining heavy when him reach. But him is alright. And him want you to know, say him alright. Man, could I tell you what that did for my soul? You know? Because from my brother passing on me, I said to myself, say, boy, that the man not even can dream me and make me know, say him alright or whatever. And you know, I always wanted him to go to Jamaica and be around his grandmother and stuff, because them love him like crazy, right? He was one of the babies. He used to like drink out of my grandfather's coffee mug and stuff like that. Sleep in their bed in between my grandmother and my grandfather and stuff like that. And grandma said, yes man, him reach, him come, him here, you know. And I kid you not, I'm there chilling, right? And one of the evening they build on this new part to the house in Jamaica, and they have a back staircase. And I go around at the back of the house and turn off all the light them. I'm in at the back staircase and I sit down. Now that back staircase points to our family burial yard. But you have to walk through some banana walk and to get there. But I could see the grave them from the back staircase almost. And all of a sudden, you know, but then at the back staircase, I tell her, say, my brother was there, like he appeared. And every hair upon my body stand up, you know. And you thought I didn't feel scared, but I felt frozen. No, if I explain that. And like, right, I say, alright, Jim, you're good. And then, you know, him hang around for a while and then him disappear. And I was like, okay, so he with my other family members. Cause when we're done at the round dessa, right? He's no longer in the physical. They're no longer in the physical. But it's like that is where they gather. kind of thing. And then after I realized what just happened, yo, me shot out of that staircase that fast, you frig. Down the step them, it's about 20 steps. Down the 20 step them, I must have jumped over all like 20 step them and cut up, go up a front veranda, me run, you know. And I didn't explain to anybody why I ran from around there. I just know that from my grandmother telling me earlier, same reach and him there, to me, when it does up later in the evening, actually coming in contact with him, I was like, okay, him reach for real. But man, that was a surreal experience. So, back to this. When she said she's waiting for her son, Jayden, to dream her. Dream me no, Jayden, dream me and tell me something. Tell me you're alright. She said, but she not getting any dreams. Me just I get bare nightmares. And my son just go school and him not come back home. And me no know what happened. Despite the pain, she said she refuses to believe that her son is dead. This is the same woman who said a few months ago that she feel it in her belly, her son dead. Now she said she think he's alive and she refused to believe he's dead. You know, this is either stages of grief where you go through denial and acceptance and, you know, grieving and etc, etc, etc. Steps of grief. Y'all can go look this up. Google it. Steps of grief or grieving steps, and you'll see the denial is a part of it, acceptance is a part of it, and they are not in any specific order because them can happen and then don't happen again. Like you can go into acceptance and then you can go back into denial and you can go back into acceptance. So it's a struggle to get to each step before you finally get to, you know, this is what it is and I'm gonna have to move on from this kind of thing. So despite the pain, she said she refused to believe that Jayden is dead. She explained that she tries to remain strong for pardon my cough. She tries to remain strong for her youngest child, who is 3 years old. And she said if she see me I cry, then she will ask me if Jayden dead. I mean, always I tell her, no, him not dead. Every time she see me I cry, she said, Mommy, Jayden dead? Even now, months later. So I try my best not to cry around her. She's only 3. The absence was felt sharply during this Christmas period. She said she used to prepare food as usual, but being unable to eat. This is the part that get me. She said me share out him food like me always do, but he wasn't there to eat it. She said, adding that she has struggled to accept help from others while Jayden remains missing. You share out him food like you always do. Wasn't Jayden like 12 years old? Right? Didn't Jayden leave her house from like 6, 7 years old? So you share out him food like you usually do. You told us that Jayden don't even talk to you from Jayden left. And you said it's his father's side of family brainwash him against you. This is why I'm saying this lady need to watch what she has said. Cause you never share out him food from him left you. 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, you weren't sharing out his food because you accept say him live with him father side of people and you can't care for him. And him see you out the road and him don't even talk to you. So how come now that him missing, you find yourself a cook and share out for him food, but he's not there to eat it? You see, there's something here. Like, if you're thinking outside the box, you can think, I wonder if his birth mother have something to do with his disappearance. Now, me personally, hearing all the stories, may the family forgive me if I'm wrong, but I personally think that the cousin who fly down from the US after her child broke his femur has absolutely something to do with Jayden going missing. For sure. That's my thoughts. However, I don't want to be blindsided and looking only in one direction, because if you're going to look for somebody, you should leave no stones unturned. So here's another scenario. Hypothetically speaking, what if the mother got tired of seeing her son ignoring her out the road? Because there's one time where she even said, them say, you know, a lot of people been wondering, because people were saying when Jayden went missing, all you have to do is find his mother, find where his mother is, and I bet you say him dead here, because children usually want to be back with their mom. Well, she said, when Ellie Lewis interviewed her, she said, Jayden don't come to my house. It would be unusual for him to come to my house. Because from him leave here, him never come back. And when him see her out the road, him don't even talk to her. So it's not like they have a relationship. So he wouldn't run away and come to my house. So that tells me that there's no way you are still cooking and sharing out plate for him. The absence was felt sharply during the Christmas. She recalled preparing food as usual, but she herself was unable to eat, and she said me share out him food like me always do, but he wasn't there to eat. That don't make no sense to me. Could it be the mom had something to do with it as well? She take it up on some level of vengeance, cause me birth you, and you know me struggle with you, and yeah, me saying you gonna live with your people them, but me never think say them would have turned against me like that, which is what she said in one of the interviews. And now you really don't talk to me, and lure him in and did something to him. Could it be? I would advise the mom to talk, because the investigation is still open pertaining to where Jayden is. And this is one that I am challenging the Jamaican authorities to find the whereabouts of Jayden, or find what happened to him. And if they can do that, then we would have said, yo, them super good. Them super good. And I honestly think that they are capable. There's just many layers here. Another peaceful protest is actually being planned for January 12th. Today is the 7th. So January 12th, people are going to come out again like they did before. They're going to walk. They're planning this one for outside the gates of Manchester High School. Jayden's mom appealed to members of the public to attend this protest as well. Stand with us to assist in any way possible. She again says, me still believe my son alive. And anyone out there who know where Jayden is, please let me know, she said. Her words aligned with comments that were previously made by Jayden's aunt and primary caregiver, who said in a November interview that she also believed that Jayden is alive. Jayden would have turned 13 on November 24th. His father is not yet spoken publicly on the matter. Could it be that Jayden's dad had something to do with this as well? Because Jayden was probably ashamed of his dad. If they were able to turn Jayden's mind against his mom because his mother too poor and have too much of them and can't take care of her, picnic them, so him started seeing his mom out the road and walk past her, and when she say hi to him act like him don't see her, and that's her testimony, right? I'm thinking the whole community knows his daddy is a drunkard. It's like the whole community knows that your daddy a crackhead. You're not gonna run to him and be like, that's my daddy. You're gonna be ashamed that people laugh at you. People laugh at me every day just because of you. Every time I argue with any other kids, them tell me about move on, go, your daddy a crackhead, cokehead daddy. So I don't want to see you, kind of thing. So I wonder if Jayden's dad might play a role in this as well. Maybe we're looking in the wrong direction when we're looking at the femur situation with the little girl, with the little boy breaking his femur. Maybe we're supposed to be looking at somebody else. Now me confused, but me have my eye upon everybody. The father, and the father hasn't spoken yet. And I don't think it's going to be good for the father when him speak, because I know how that go already. Everybody are going to cuss him. I've said this before and I'll say it again. A woman can fall down in life. She can lose everything, including her kids. She can mess up, you know. And people just look at it as, oh my God, she's a mom and she's trying so hard, you know. God, man, life is beating her up. Give her some help. She needs some help. She needs some sympathy. Be patient with her. But when it's a man, he gets the blame. Big, dirty, workless boy. Drunken boy. Look how you picnic them. Look how them dirty. Look how you can't take care of your picnic them. Look how your woman. Look how your house. Look how you will lose everything. Move on, go from around your man, your big workless self. It's not the same level of sympathy that a mother will get that the father is going to get. I guarantee you the minute him come out and go on any one of them podcasts or any interview, Star, Gleaner, anywhere, and do an interview, watch and see how the public is going to beat him. Watch and see. Jayden is described as being dark complexion, slim build, approximately 152 centimeters tall. His disappearance has led to multiple peaceful protests and coordinated searches across the parish, though none have produced answers so far. What do y'all think happened to Jayden? What do y'all think happened to Jayden? Leave your comments in the comment section below, please. I'm going to end this video by saying this. Have a wonderful day. Big up on yourself. I appreciate you one and all. Back to what I was saying before. You're going to get more of these kind of videos until the baby gets here. Alright? My energy has to go into that right now. And that's what I'm focused on right now. I'm just praying for a healthy, happy baby. And we'll take it from there. And I know all things will work out according. Alright? Walk good. Go with God. My granny Miss Ruby said, be good. If you can't be good, be careful, but it's best to be good. And my grandfather, Mas Clevey, who is right next to her right here, Mas Clevey said, I will see you tomorrow, if God spare life. Knowing that we're not God. We're not in control of life. We're not in control of tomorrow, or if the present gets here or we're here to see it. No matter how much material possessions you have, I don't care how many M's are in your bank account, you can't even buy tomorrow if you bring it and give it to yourself. If God said today is your last day, today is your last day. And we don't ever forget that. So we say like my grandfather said, I will see you tomorrow, if God spare life. Alright? God is in control. I'm out. I'll talk to you later. Walk good. Peace.